guesses against incoming light. In bright rooms, there's plenty of light to correct a bad guess. The guess, "that's a face," gets instantly overruled by the flood of detail that says, "No, that's a jacket." But in the dark, the corrections never arrive. There's not enough light to prove your brain wrong. So, the guess just stands, unchallenged. The face your brain invented stays a face, because nothing came along to erase it. The psychologist and researcher Takeharu Seno ran experiments where people were shown noisy, degraded images with nothing in them at all, pure visual static, and people confidently reported seeing faces staring back. The less clear the image, the more the brain filled the gap with the thing it fears and needs to see most, a face. So the dark doesn't add faces to your room. The dark simply removes the evidence that they're not there. And there's one more layer. Fear itself changes what you see. When you're already anxious, when your heart is racing and adrenaline is up, your threat detection system turns its sensitivity all the way up. A calm brain might shrug off the shadow. A frightened brain cannot. It's already primed for danger, so it reads danger into everything. This is why the second face is always scarier than the first. Once you're scared, you're now wearing glasses that turn every shadow into eyes. Think about what this means. The fear and the face create each other. The shadow scares you a little, the fear sharpens your face detector, the sharpened detector finds more faces, the faces scare you more. A loop, spinning faster in the dark. Now step even further back and ask the deep question. Why does this survive today at all? You don't live in the tall grass anymore. There's no predator in your bedroom. The overwhelming majority of humans reading this have never once been stalked by a large animal in the night. So why hasn't evolution switched this off? Because evolution is slow and comfort is fast. For hundreds of thousands of years, this hair trigger was pure advantage. Safety, in the form of lit rooms and locked doors, is only a few thousand years old. And truly reliable safety is barely a century old. Your body has not caught up. Your brain is still running software written for a world that wanted to eat you. You carry a Stone Age alarm system inside a bedroom that no lion has ever entered, and it still works perfectly. It just has nothing left to catch. There's something almost tender in that, if you let yourself see it. That jolt of fear in the dark is not weakness. It is not a childish thing to grow out of. It is 100,000 generations of ancestors who survived precisely because they flinched. Every one of them saw a face in the grass and ran. The ones who didn't flinch aren't your ancestors. They didn't get to be anyone's ancestors. So when you wake at 3 a.m. and your eyes lock onto a face that isn't there, you're feeling the exact reflex that kept your bloodline alive. You are the descendant of the ones who were scared enough. That fear is your inheritance. It's the reason you exist to be scared at all. And you can use this. The next time it happens, you don't have to fight the fear or feel ashamed of it. You can name it. That's my face detector doing its job. That's 100,000 years of survival firing in a room where it's no longer needed. You can thank it and let your eyes adjust and watch the face melt back into a coat. Because understanding the trick doesn't fully remove it. Even now, knowing everything you know, you'll still see the face tomorrow night. The detector doesn't care that you've read this. It fires anyway. It has always fired anyway. That's the whole point of it. But you'll understand what you're looking at. You'll know that the face in the corner is not a ghost, not a stranger, not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a mirror. It's your own mind, showing you the oldest fear it knows, in the only language it has ever spoken. So tonight, when the lights go out and something watches you from the corner of the room, don't look away in terror. Look a little longer, because that face was never there to hurt you. It's the shape of the thing that kept you alive.
It's the middle of the night. You wake up for no reason.
Your eyes drift to the corner of the room, and for one cold second, something is there. A face watching you. You freeze. Your heart slams against your ribs. You don't breathe. And then your eyes adjust, and the face dissolves into a coat on a chair, a shadow on the wall, a pile of laundry you meant to fold. Nothing was there. Nothing was ever there. You feel foolish. But the real answer is far stranger than a trick of tired eyes. Because your brain didn't malfunction in that moment, it did exactly what it was built to do. It did the single most important thing it has ever learned how to do. And it did it faster than you could think. Your brain saw a face because your brain is desperate to see faces. Everywhere. In everything. All the time. Look at the front of a car. You see two eyes and a mouth. Look at an electrical outlet. A tiny surprised expression stares back. Look at the moon, at burnt toast, at the folds of a curtain, at clouds. Faces. Faces everywhere. There's a name for this. Scientists call it pareidolia. It means seeing meaningful shapes, especially faces, in random visual noise. And it is not a flaw. It is one of the oldest survival tools you own. To understand why, you have to leave your bedroom. You have to go back. Way back. Past the cities, past the farms, past written history. Back to a version of you that lived on an open landscape where being wrong about a face could kill you. Imagine that ancestor. They're crouched at the edge of tall grass at dusk. The light is failing. The wind moves the grass and something shifts in the shadows. Is it a predator or is it just the wind? Here's the brutal math your ancestors lived by. If they assumed it was a predator and they were wrong, they lost nothing but a few seconds and a little dignity. But if they assumed it was the wind and they were wrong, they were dead. They were eaten. They never had children. Their genes ended right there in the grass. So evolution made a choice for you, long before you were born. It decided that the cost of a false alarm is tiny, and the cost of a missed threat is everything. Your brain would rather scare you 1,000 times for no reason than fail to scare you once when it matters. This is a real and studied idea. The evolutionary biologist Randolph Nesse describes it using something called error management theory. When the two kinds of mistakes have wildly different costs, the mind evolves a bias toward the cheaper mistake. Seeing a face that isn't there is cheap. Missing a face that is there is fatal. So your brain became a machine built to over-detect, especially eyes, especially the sense of being watched. But why faces specifically? Why not just shapes or movement? Because for your entire history as a species, the most important object in your world was another face. A face told you everything. Friend or stranger, calm or furious, attracted or disgusted, lying or honest. Your survival depended less on outrunning lions than on reading the faces of the humans around you. So your brain built dedicated hardware just for faces. There's a small region tucked into the underside of your brain called the fusiform face area. Neuroscientist Nancy Kanwisher helped identify it in the late 1990s. This patch of tissue does almost nothing except detect and process faces. It lights up for faces and stays quiet for almost everything else. And here's the part that matters at 3 a.m. This face detector is fast and it is generous. It fires first and asks questions later. It doesn't wait for certainty. 2 dots and a line below them is enough. That's all it needs. 2 eyes, a mouth. Fire. That coat on the chair had a rounded top and 2 dark folds. To the slow, thinking part of your brain, it was obviously a coat. But your face detector doesn't wait for the slow part. It shouts face into your nervous system before the rest of you has a chance to check. So the fear you felt was real. The threat was not. And you were never broken. You were protected. Now let's make it stranger. Why is this so much worse in the dark? Why does the same room, harmless in daylight, become a gallery of watching faces the moment the lights go out? Because darkness starves your brain of information, and your brain refuses to sit with uncertainty. Your visual system is not a camera passively recording light. It is a prediction machine. It is constantly guessing what's out there and then checking those.